So, hi class, soy profesor Francisco, soy profesor de español de hoy. And today we're going to talk about showing comparison, which is a very important topic. So, when talking about showing comparison, you consider three things. Two things: you consider the gender of that noun, and you also consider the number of that noun. For example, when talking about, there are different ways of showing comparison. So we have the adjectives and the superlatives, and also the regular and the regular forms. So let's start with what we call the comparative adjectives. So in English, these are the ones that end with er or have more or less before the adjectives. So they're the ones that end with er or have more or less before the adjective. These ones are usually used to compare only two things. They used to compare only two things. For example, faster. So you can say like John is faster than Ken. So you're only comparing two things. And then for the ones that cannot have er at the end, we're going to use what we call more or less. So we're going to have like more important and less important. So this is a very good note to understand. So if you want to do the same in Spanish, we're going to use what we call más. In this case, this will translate to more. Then we also have menos that translates to less, because the er does not exist in Spanish. For example, we're going to have en español es más difícil. En español es más difícil. O que say español es más difícil. So Spanish is harder, or is more difficult. So in this case, it means that you're only comparing two of them. So if you want to say dan, we're going to use what we call K. In this case, dan translates to K. So with the same sentence, so we can say en español es más difícil que. Let's say French, which is français. So basically that's how we do it when showing comparison. When it's less, we do the same. We can say like Madrid es menos interesante. So Madrid is interesting. So comparing to another city, that is. So that's how we do it when showing the comparatives. Then with the superlatives, we usually have est, or we can have what we call most or least. For example, we're going to have what we call the definite article. We're going to have el, la, los, and then las. Then you must also have what we call a noun, las, más, or you can also use menos. Then plus your noun. For example, let's talk about a book, which is libro. We've seen the meaning of book is libro before. So the libro is masculine, so I use el, then I write my libro. Then I can choose más, caro. So in this case, we're comparing more than two things. So when am I saying el libro más caro, the most expensive book? The most expensive book. Remember, it's more than one book. Then you can also choose the plural, which is los libros más caros. Los libros más caros, the most expensive books. So if it's less, you're going to use the same. So you can say like la muchacha menos trabajador. Trabajadora. La muchacha menos trabajadora. la muchacha menos trabajadora, the least hardworking girl. So if there are many, you just form the plural by adding is, and is at the end. So by doing that, you'll be showing what we call the superlatives. And then the same note, we have what we call regular and irregular comparatives. Regular and irregular superlatives and comparatives. So for example, we have good, which becomes bueno, can also be buena. Then the plural is buenos, and we also have buenas. Then this is now our adjective. We also have our comparative. And then on this side, I'm going to have what we call the superlative. So if I have my adjective as good, which can also change to bueno, which is bueno and buena, buenos and buenos. So my superlative, before I go to the superlative, I have to show my comparative, which is mejor, which is better in this case. So that one is only one. Then on this side of the superlatives, now I have to show what? The definite articles. So I'm going to say el mejor, that is the best, la mejor for the feminine, la mejor. So when there are many, we do the same but form the plural. Los mejores, the best. And then las mejores becomes the best but for the feminine form. When it is the other case, so we know the opposite of good is bad, we do the same. We have mal, can also change to mala, and then you've seen the adjectives, you know, we have malos and malas. The comparative becomes peor, and then with the superlatives you also do the same. So you use the four articles, el peor to mean worse. So we have bad, worse, worst. So we have la peor, and then you also form the plural, that is los peores and las peores. By doing that, what we will have done is you will have said what we call good, better and best, bad, worse and worst. So that's how we usually compare things and make sure that it is correct with gender and number. Muy bien, gracias por escucharme. Chao.